So my life before Jesus, meeting Jesus, it wasn't the best of life. Like I was in with the wrong crowds and the wrong sort of people. And growing up, it was quite hard. I went through a lot of stuff in my life, and luckily I had my mum to bring me up, so it was good. Like times were good, but I always felt like I was alone and there was things missing. There was a time when I did feel like I was at rock bottom, and think it was like last year. I was hanging out with the wrong kind of people, and I was in a place where I shouldn't be, and I was taking drugs and stuff. And I cried out and I said I needed something, and I started praying to God, even though I didn't know what God was before then. I started praying that I needed it, and obviously nothing really changed until obviously my brother, he hit rock bottom. I think it was the start of this year, and he came to church and he said, like, look, Kai, you need to find Jesus. You need to come to church and see what it's about. The thing is, when people say they can invite you to church and stuff, but with me, I needed to, and I kept praying. I knew there was a God there, and I know a lot of my friends are saying, oh, if there was a God, why would this happen? Or stuff like this. But I believed that that isn't the case. And when you find God, that there's a walk, a path, and there's something in my head just telling me, like, why don't I just come and try it out and see what it's about? And if I don't like it, then I can leave. But as soon as I got there into the service, it was like God was speaking to me through the words. It's kind of like, how do I explain it? Like I was feeling like everyone was aiming things at me, and it was mad, because I felt like, I was like, how does he know all this about my life? And I was like, nah, this can't be right, this can't be right. And then, yeah, I give myself to Jesus on the same day of coming. And back then I wasn't sure what it was or anything. And I cried, and when I got home I cried. I just broke down, and I was like, what is this? And then I found out that it was the Holy Spirit working in my life. I come to one of the services, and we were speaking about like the sacrificial lamb and about how we broke the world first and stuff, and it made me realise a lot of things. But what also it made me realise is that I'm only human, and from where I've come from, like I didn't deserve it now, but it's God's plan, and God does have a plan for me. And it's made me realise that I'm not alone, and God does love me. So no matter what I've done, that's all in the past now. Like my life's changed, and I don't need to be that person who I was in the past now, because I have God, and I have a reason to be here. Like God put me here for a reason. Without finding God, like I wouldn't be as strong as I am now. Like I go through things like every person does. It's not easy, and it's not like coming to God is not going to change all your problems, but in a sense it does, because he has a plan for you. And if you like work with God, and you know that you're not alone, and you put God first, things will change and things will get better. And you have that in you then, where you're not feeling low, or if you are feeling low, you can, do you know what I mean? You can talk to God, and it will change, like eventually. A lot of people don't know this. A lot of people, like, they think church is just a place where you're going to be judged, and do you know what I mean? You're bad because you're not following the Bible or whatever. And it's like, it's not that. It's, we all come from something, and we all come from a broken place. And the only way we can mend it, in a sense, is just to give ourselves to God, man. And things will change. I've seen it, and I know a lot of people have seen it. And with coming to church, before this, I never really had like many true friends. Like if I was feeling low, I'd be told, oh, stop attention seeking, or, do you know what I mean, grow up, you're just a man. But in here, people like have real emotions for you, people care, and that's because they've got the love of God and the love of Jesus, and they feel it. So when one person is down in the church, we all come together and we all pray, and we all fix them. And then next week come back, and if there's someone else there, we'll help them. And that's what I love about church, and that's because we all love the one person, the one main thing, our Creator. And I believe people need to come to church to find that out for themselves. Because if we can talk about all this, but you will not, I don't know, have the feeling or anything until you feel like the Holy Spirit move into you, and in a sense, give yourself to God, like surrender. Since I've started following Jesus, a lot of things have changed. and it is good. Like before, last year, I couldn't be strong enough to walk away from situations. I couldn't be strong enough to have the willpower to be the person I am and to say no to things and stuff. And now, when things go wrong, like I'll go through that stage where it's getting high and stuff, but I keep praying, I'll keep reading my Bible, I'll try to bring myself to God. Or I'll go out, I'll go for a walk in the field, and whereas before I would want to harm myself or do something that's gonna make it worse. Now I'll sit in the field and I'll pray and stuff, and I'll feel better. I'll go home and I'll feel stronger, I'll feel happier, and then I can sleep at night. But if I don't put God first, and if I don't work with Him, and I don't pray, and I don't do all these things, then I'm there like being kind of selfish in a way, because I'm there like, not in a bad way, but I'm there like, why is this all happening to me? Why is it getting tough? Why is it so strong? Like, there's a God, why is this happening? And then now I pray, and my prayers get like answered. Do you know what I mean? Like, everything fixes. Like, it may take a week or a day, but it's part of God's plan. And when I pray, things change and things happen. Like, for example, like I had a job, I lost it, and then another job come up because I was praying, I was hurting. So that's another example. But there's just so much in my life that's changed since last year. I can look at myself in the mirror now and I can say, look, I am a person. I am someone that matters, and I am loved. And that's because I've given my life to God. So no matter what happens and what consequences I'm in, I've still got another day. So I'm thankful that I wake up, I'm breathing, I've got my daughter still in my life, I've got my family in my life, and that's all that really matters. And that's because God's given me that. And I'm so thankful for that.